Oh my goodness, my little stars, welcome back to movie night. Yep, it turns out there's another ending. I randomly came across it. So let's just get into it and I'll show you guys the new ending. Knock knock. You hear soft steps coming closer from inside the house. You can't help but let a small smile loose on your face. No one was seeing you, so who cares, right? You've been looking forward to today for weeks now. You can allow yourself a little self-indulgence. The door squeaks open just in time so you don't give away how giddy you are, which is a good amount of giddy. You quickly get a hold of yourself right when the door opens, that little much needed to let voices slip through are more like a certain skeleton. Who's there? You had to restrain a giggle as you reply. Handsome. Handsome who? Handsome, help and hold the door open so I can get through. You hear a snort from the other side of the door before seeing it finally opening. Hey, bud, how's it going? Oh, it's nice seeing Sans' goofy face smiling at you. You hadn't seen him in, what, weeks, months? It'll never fail to warm your heart, or technically you saw him like a few hours ago. Except for now. Now it was failing, but that wasn't any fault of his own, it's just due to the fact that it's so freaking cold here in Snowdon. You were literally freezing your bones, and it was biting your butt as well, that wretched wind. Was about to think he'd never show up. You asked if he was falling asleep. Maybe. Yes. Yeah, that didn't surprise you. You would have probably done the same. And that is why I hang out with you. Not counting your pungent humor, of course. You really get my deep and absolute rational love for naps. Oh, you do. You absolutely do. Best time for nap time is always right now. Papyrus doesn't share our view, but even the greatest have flaws. When he knew you were coming, he ran outside shouting something about a surprise in the oven for you. Not his exact words, but I think you get the idea. The thought of Papyrus cooking specifically for you activates your fight or flight response once more. You freeze for a second, somehow associating it with the most irrational thing to do. Faking your death. You tend to do that a lot. It's a self-defense mechanism. Don't worry, just stick whatever it is in your pocket and then excuse yourself to the bathroom to flush it. He is going to get suspicious at some point, Sans. Just try to look as if you're enjoying it, okay? You slowly nod. Besides, I got enough chips and snacks to feed a skeleton for weeks. You may die of food poisoning, but damn, I guarantee you won't starve today. This is probably why he never offered snacks, because he knew somewhere down the line I was going to actually poison him. On accident. Well, that was some kinds of reassuring. Come on, get in. Coach sounds much better than standing outside. Oh, so true. The warmth of the house is nice on your skin after the cold outside breeze, especially if you're taught outside for no reason like idiots. You happily take off your coat and scarf, finally free from the suffocating clutches of that evil synthetic cotton creature. Sans lets gravity help him. Settling on the couch, he rests his pink slippers on the nearby table, maintaining eye contact, and you thank heavens Papyrus is not there to tell him straight to stop putting his slippies on top of the furniture. Make yourself at home. He dresses you in your heavy coat. If you were at home, you'd throw it behind you as soon as you enter the door, but you're not at home, and it'd be kind of rude to just drop it wherever you want. And since you didn't feel like using the clothes hanger, you were eyeing the only thing in the room that could possibly house your fluffy coat. You're no fun. You stick out your tongue at him. What? You throw your coat right at him. He's caught off guard as the heavy pile of fluff lands on him. But he doesn't seem to regret teasing you. How dare he? Okay, that was kind of fun. You will proudly puff out your chest, declaring your victory. Look at you. You are fun. So very fun. Truly the life of the party. Whoa now, don't let that go to your head, friendo. Carried away, you dropped yourself on the couch, laughing maniacally, since you will always be the one and only dungeon master that will drop absolute bullshit on any naive player that dared enter your dungeon. Sans joins you slightly after with his Barton chuckle. He does not put in as much effort as you, but you appreciate the effort he did put in. And then eventually your laughter dies down because you two quickly realize if you laugh all night, you're going to be in serious pain. And probably exhausted, not to mention you'll probably forget to eat. And the two of you are then left in a bubble of slightly uncomfortable silence. But not for long, since this absolute genius of a skeleton decides that he doesn't want to wait in the silence and instead takes upon himself to shatter that silence. You were not sure if he was out of boredom or the pure knowledge of your ability to talk, but he spoke. So, you were thankful either way. I don't really know when Pops will be back. Could be minutes, could be hours, who knows. Great, more awkward silence. You could wait here in this awkward silence, or you could do something else. You knew it could get worse. It could always get worse. So, do you want to wait for him, or because he's so cool, and because he's already seen everything in the movie box? He said we could start without him, but we have to pause if we get to the good bits. He really doesn't want to miss those. I have no idea what the good bits are, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. You doubt that considering his cynicism towards the movies, but whatever, in the worst case scenario, that TV could suddenly disappear and end up in your own house. Oh, we could just trash the damn thing. And then say some type of accident happened, involving your fluffy coat crushing it to death. Either way, you might also feel slightly guilty if you started watching it without Papyrus, though. Could you wait peacefully in the uncomfortable silence? Start the movie. Well, then buckle up and grab some popcorn. The screening is about to start. There's no popcorn, so don't bother looking. Well, you are a little sorry for starting without Papyrus, but you're less likely to embarrass yourself if you're both busy watching the television screen. At least you hoped it, that's how it worked. Sans picks up the remote and starts to wander aimlessly into the vast assortment of movies. And you are happily and pleasantly surprised to see that Papyrus has wonderful taste in movies. He has animated movies and cartoons. A skeleton after my own heart. You watch the movie scroll frantically on the screen as Sans searches for the lucky movie, not even paying attention as he pushes select. This is one of Bob's favourites. Or maybe he is paying a little bit of attention. They're all his favourites. Definitely not paying attention. It's a movie about dragons and kids who like dragons. Long-term attention is not your forte. It hasn't even been 5 minutes since he had played and you already started losing the bits of the plot. Normally we have a Papyrus to prevent this type of situation from happening, but since he is not here, we've kind of got ourselves into a bit of a predicament. But now you are alone with the one and only Sans. We're supposed to talk, chat, people chat during movies, right? That's why they go see them together, right? Wait, no. Wasn't that a rude thing to do? To interrupt while someone was watching? Maybe that's only valid for theatres. Try to chat. You ask him if he's seen the movie already. Nope. That wasn't the icebreaker chat you thought it would be. Okay, looked like the kid just met the dragon. Let's talk about that. You generally said it looks like a big hairless cat. Oh my god, it really is. This is How to Train Your Dragon, isn't it? Because Toothless is meant to be based around a freaking cat. That's why the noises and stuff he does. Because they even said that during, like, behind the scenes of it. True. Nope, not a success either. You could basically cut the silence with a knife. The amount of awkwardness floating between the two of you. The volume was up and something was definitely happening on screen, but the remaining portion of silence is all your mind is able to focus on right now. And you thought having something playing in the background would have helped, but what a fool you were! Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you're just overthinking things. Yeah, it's definitely just you're being paranoid. It wouldn't be the first time. He's just trying to watch the movie like a normal person. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you should try too. After peeking at him, of course. You slightly tilt your head just enough to see his face. Shit. Was he always so close, or did he move over during your mild over-analysis breakdown? Wait, did he? Did he actually shuffle himself closer? If he did, well then. If he didn't, did you subconsciously shuffle closer because you were planning on shuffling? You turn your head to the screen, hoping he didn't notice you. And he didn't. Actually, it doesn't look like he's noticing the screen either. His lids already are looking heavy and he's having trouble keeping his sockets open. Without Papyrus shouting in his non-existent ears, he doesn't have anything keeping him from just dozing off. His head falls backwards and he succumbs to the sweet embrace of nothingness. Gosh, you wish that were you. Guess he really needed that good old nappy. He doesn't look too comfortable. Then again, this is Sans. He could sleep through a car crash. At least, you think he could? You don't think he's ever been in a car crash, though? Unless, of course, Papyrus was driving a car. I'm putting way too much thought into this. Moving on. You look apprehensively at the thin bones of his neck. They look rather delicate to support that big head of his. Should you wake him up? We could let him sleep. That doesn't really affect this at all, I don't think. You leave him be. Lord knows how tired the poor guy must be to fall asleep like that. So you try to adjust his position just in case the image of his neck snapping in your mind became reality. An irrational fear way more powerful than you desire not to wake him. You gently push him against the back of the sofa. He bounces backwards like a sack of potatoes. But not surprisingly, he sleeps through it. So yeah, your job is done. You can now focus on the movie you weren't even watching in the first place. You're about to go to the kitchen for at least try to look for the popcorn, which he clearly stated there wasn't any, when you suddenly felt something on your shoulder weighing you down. It takes you a while to recognize that something as Sans' skull. Shit! Now you're really boned. You stay still as a statue as you feel his breath brush your neck. In your head, your thoughts are spinning out of control. None of them even remotely useful. Your heart is pounding so hard you think it'll get out of your chest and literally slap you in the face. What a fool being trapped in a situation. You walked right into it. In all fairness, you didn't really walk into this one because you didn't even shuffle close. He just happened to be close to you in the first place. So I'm not even sure. Maybe Sans subconsciously moved closer. I have no clue. You hold your breath to calm you and your movements down. You don't even want to think about the awkward silence you'll get if he wakes up like this. The awkward silence you're in right now is already enough. You just try to watch the movie. Yeah, let's just do that. Every now and then he mumbles something in his sleep, but after a while you don't pay much attention anymore, having accepted your job of human pillow. Actually, you don't pay much attention to the movie either. Not that before you had, but now both images and sounds flow peacefully in the back of your mind. Focus on anything in particular. Before you know it, your head is resting on Sans' skull and your eyes are closing. Now, of course, we go to this description of being sleeping, so we're, of course, going to get ourselves straight to Gilby's. Okay, you end up going to the strange-looking building and you open the door and you find yourself in a weird bar full of weird people. You feel a familiar warmth in here, like drinking hot chocolate when outside. It's a stormy kind of warmth. You reach the counter and ask for hot chocolate, and the barista understandably stays quiet and looks rather confused by your request. You sigh and settle for a martini. You don't even drink, but you don't want to walk out without buying anything. He looks even more confused. You're about to say something when someone taps you on the shoulder. You finishing that? Sans was pointing at a ketchup bottle in front of you. Weird, when did that get there? Give him the ketchup bottle. Thank you, bud. He grabs the bottle, taking a seat next to yours, and starts to gulp down the entire bottle in one go. You are impressed. Bring another, Grubs. The bartender searches underneath the counter and brings up another bottle that Sans immediately brings closer to him. Put it on my tab. The bartender makes a vague, annoyed sound and goes back into the kitchen. Sans sprouts some ketchup onto his hand and offers it to you, which again, I still don't understand what you're supposed to do in this situation if you said yes. What does he want? Does he want you to, like, I don't know, do a ketchup pact with him? Or does he literally want you to eat off his hands or something? I have no clue. Want some? You politely decline, but you appreciate the gesture. Never seen you around here before. You tell him you come here twice a week, but that's a lie. You only come here once a week and you always skip the first week of the month, even though technically you clearly stated that this was a weird bar and these were weird things. He just hums in response. You ever seen waterfall? You say, no, you've never seen it. He grabs a glass of water nearby and pours it on the ground. Nobody notices it, not even the bartender. Pretty cool, huh? You giggled despite how low taste that was. Glad you like the war because it means you already like 78% of me. You wink and rest your cheek on your hand as you tell him you were determined to make it 100. Nothing moves aside from the lights, furiously flickering in his eye sockets. You hear someone in the bar whistling. Or maybe that was just your imagination. Sans, what are you doing? This is not napping time. You wake up unaware of your surroundings and with no idea with what's going on. You look around and see Sans still struggling to open his eyes. Sans, of course, you vaguely recall him being in your dream. Who knows if it was because of the proximity, because it related to Sans-related panic, or because of some weird dream portal that accidentally opened sleeping next to each other. If you dreamt about him, maybe he dreamt about you. It was a narrow possibility, but what the heck? You asked that to him, hoping to not seem too creepy. I guess. Kinda, maybe. Well, that was a weird response. Sans, what do you think you're doing? Called napping, see? Even the human likes it. You prefer not to be dragged into this family discussion? I suppose. But the human didn't nap during morning too. In fact, you did, but as you said, you'd rather stay out of this one. You don't know that. Yes, I know, look. He turns to you. Human, did you nap this morning? You shake your head and hands silently signing to move on. See, I knew they'd do the right thing. Sans doesn't seem to buy it, but he leaves you be. So, you brought us food? Nope. Because of you, I had to get here in a rush. I could feel something was not right. And as always, my big brother instincts was right. Wait, Papyrus is the big brother? What is this? You could have sworn it was Sans last time you checked. Better check again just to be safe. Oh, you want to know if I'm the big brother? Sans, who was the big brother? I don't know. There's an awkward silence between the two while they stare at each other in the eye sockets. We have no idea. That's good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go do something based on the sources. That's pretty much everything we have. And that leaves you alone with Sans. Again. Actually, I have some important stuff to do. Alone. Downstairs. Do they have it downstairs? Go help Pops. I'll be away for a while. He awkwardly finger guns you, and in the moment you divert your gaze, he's gone and nowhere to be found. He's probably downstairs. Well, that solves one problem, you suppose, but... He almost looked like he was avoiding you. Could you have done something that bad? You tried to think about it. Probably just him having a weird moment. You have weird moments all the time, and no one thinks you'd avoid them. You hope. You dismiss the thought and move on to the kitchen. The first thing you see as you make your way into the kitchen is Papyrus's butt wriggling in the air. He's humming some cheerful tunes as he searches waist deep something edible in the garbage disposal they call the fridge. You knock on the fridge door to get his attention. Human, I'm not done yet. I can't come watch the TV with you. I have to prepare food. Not really sure what to make yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. I am that great after all. You asked Papyrus if he needs a hand. I would love that very much. Thank you, Human. This will come out 2 times as great. I just don't know what this is yet. But this won't stop us. It surely won't. You peek in the fridge to see if something useful is there. Ketchup, mayo, mustard, maple syrup. How much of these wretched sauces and just sticky stuff does these 2 skeletons need to survive? Why do they need it? Do they overfill a car with it? Is this really all just for Sans's consumption? Maybe if you brought him a bottle as a peace offering. You move more bottles of the colourful goo, and in the farthest corner you find eggs. You take them out and hand them to Papyrus. Could be worse. You could do a lot of things with eggs, like cooked eggs. You know damn well Papyrus could slurp them raw, so you don't even mention that possibility. Eggs? Eggs. He doesn't look too convinced. Although I'm great, I have to admit I'm not very good at handling eggs. Last time I opened one, it smelled so bad I needed an entire bottle of perfume to wash it away. I suspect he got mad at me for cracking it with such fierceness. That's not how perfume works, and that's not how eggs work either. You're pretty sure Sans is the one who taught him the perfume trick. After checking the expiry date on the box, that was miraculously due in a few weeks, you tell him not to worry about the smell. If you say so, Human, I confide in your abilities and upgrade you to co-chef. I'm the chef, as you can tell. After all, I'm the one who knows where the butter knives are. Couldn't argue that logic. So tell me, co-chef, what are we making today? Oh, you already decided you're going to make crepes. Not only because they are thin and light and you couldn't eat a whole pancake even if you tried, but because you're pretty sure you can only make crepes with the few ingredients you have. Also, they're all liquid. Ergo, pretty hard to mess up. Even Papyrus couldn't make a mess of it. But as much as you wanted to give your everything in cooking with Papyrus, you couldn't stop yourself from thinking about Sans, about the weird way he acted before. What if he didn't like crepes? What if he preferred pancakes? What if he hated you now? What if he must have realized he hated you while he was sleeping? Is everything okay, co-chef? You've been thinking for quite a while now. Don't worry, Pops, let's make crepes. Alright then, if you say you're okay, it means you're okay. You wonder if hiding your stress had been a good idea, but again, it's probably just a silly paranoia of yours. For now, you'll just concentrate on having a good time with Papyrus' company, and on not on letting him burn down the kitchen in the meantime. Let's make whatever this is. So the first thing to do is... Actually, I don't know the first thing to do. You don't know either, but how hard could it be? Very hard, but you try not to think about all the ways this could go horribly wrong. You see, this is a new recipe for me, so... Just for this one, you'll have the luck to have me, the great Papyrus, as your co-chef. Oh God, you hope the situation didn't just get 10 times worse. You or Papyrus at the command. You weren't sure what you feared the most. You needed flour and milk too, and you were sure of. Oh, we have those. I heard from the TV, milk helps bones, so I always buy some extra boxes. He opens a drawer near you and it's completely filled with boxes of milk, even though technically that's not where you store your milk. That's this week's refill. I keep it here, near my extra bones. He opens the next drawer and it's completely filled with bones. Some are even wrapped up with a bow. Both drawers terrify you, so you pick up a box of milk while Papyrus takes the flour. The bones could stay there. You don't need them. Okay, so I should start breaking the eggs then. I was hoping I could break them. That's my favourite part. Of course, human, after you. I will never deprive you of your favourite task. You hardly love the sticky goo on your fingers, but if this is preventing Papyrus to just smash the eggs on the counter, so be it. You impeccably crack all the eggs open. That is such a graceful yet still extremely efficient method. I am impressed. You just hope the rest of the cooking will go this smoothly. Okay, now we have to put in the milk, I think. And of course I think right. Now on to the next one. If Instagram flash cooking videos taught you something, is that wet ingredients go with wet ingredients. So let's bring on the milk. Pour the milk in, Papyrus. Pouring? You take a pair of scissors and snip a corner of the box. He just looks at you for a second, jaw hanging from his skull. That's so much more convenient. Yeah, you were legitimately afraid to know what would have been the other option. He managed to pour a moderate amount of milk. Good. You handle the flour pudding while a confused Papyrus asked you how you managed to not make the flour fly all over the place. That could have been worse, but oh, now comes the real challenge. Don't worry, human, I'll mix. I am quite the champion mixing. I only broke the 2 spoons while mixing, which was 2 more than acceptable amount of spoons broken while mixing. You mentally cross your fingers. Mix fast, Papyrus. As soon as he heard your words, he looked like a new skeleton, a tiny yet powerful light shining in his eye sockets. He looked about to fulfill a prophecy, and with this one action give meaning to his life. I will! Nee-hee-hee! He mixed and mixed at the rhythm of his laughter, the mixture dangerously rising, threatening to jump out of the bowl at any moment. But much to your surprise, only a few droplets went out, and the rest became fluffy and soft. You have to admit, he did better than an electric mixer. Mixing is my speciality after all. And now the fun part. Actually cooking. With actual fire. You anxiously stare at the stove, silently praying to not burn down the entire house. Papyrus seems to sense your worry. Don't worry, human. I've got this. It does not help when he turns up the flame at the highest possible temperature, and it's definitely not good for your heart rate when Papyrus, bless his soul, firmly grabs the pan he's cooking. You pour part of the mixture into a nice circle on the hot surface. A little shuffling later, and he puts an arm in front of you as if he was protecting you. I'm going to flip it. You might want to stay back. Stay back. You gladly stay back. The idea of a burning hot something in your face was not so appealing. You take coverage behind a chair. 1, 2, 3, and flip it! From your strategic point, you watch the almost pound cake, because it was too thick to be a crepe, gracefully twirl mid-air. You watch it fly above Papyrus' head. You wait for it to come down. It doesn't come down. You look up and see it's stuck on the ceiling. I think I need a refill. Welp, in for a penny and in for a pound. Might as well wrap up the whole ceiling with pastry deliciousness. That was just a warm-up. You pour more mixtures and quickly take cover again. Lord knows whether this one might fall. But under your astonished gaze, not one of the crepes falls in place that isn't the pan. At some point, you get up and give him a deserved applause. Thank you, human. I know I'm the best. You smile at him while your hands keep clapping. Well, the crepes and pancake hypers were all stockpiled on the plate. Time to dig in. Your hand is already grabbing one, but Papyrus stops you. Wait! We will be blinded by the hard work we put in making these. We will never truly know their quality if we taste them. I suggest we make someone else taste it. Not really buying it, but you were on board with the Master Chef style taste challenge. Sans! Oh God, I hope I don't poison him again. You can't even finish your thought that the most unholy screech comes out of Papyrus' mouth. He will get here, eventually. You wait a good quarter before he peeks into the kitchen. What's up? Wowie, that was quick. For Santa's standard, you're sure that was lightning speed. Papyrus doesn't waste any time and pushes the plate in front of his brother. Try this for us, please. Not that we need you to try it. We already know it's great, but confirming it won't hurt anyone. If you say so, Pop. Sans takes a piece of the first crepe and puts it in his mouth. You're not sure how, it just kinda ends there. He looks at Papyrus, then at you, then at Papyrus again. It's great, isn't it? Sans looks genuinely surprised. It is. Oh my God, he liked it this time. Pop, this is great. I wouldn't expect less from the great Papyrus and his co-chef. So now you were the co-chef. He looked too pleased with himself for you to ruin the moment. You really found a great co-chef, Pop. You weren't sure, but Sans looked relieved, grateful even. I did. They should give me a hand more often. Yeah, they really should. Poor Sans, it must have been years since something good came out of this kitchen. No wonder the fridge was full of ketchup. He probably used it to hide the taste of either burnt or raw food. Or rotten eggs. Papyrus really needs to learn more about those. Absolutely. I will call you to cook with me again, human. Actually, oh no. You could hear the gears grinding inside his skull. Why, wait! You're here! What's stopping us from cooking again right now? Maybe they felt that it's late at night and you have nothing to cook with? That sounds great, Pop. No, it doesn't. Of course it does. Come on, human, we have some cooking to do. I could go buy groceries, but who knows? Find pasta anyway. We're great cooks. We can make wonders with 2 lemons and a pickle. And I just so happen to have 2 lemons and a pickle right here. The night is young and full of possibilities. Oh my God. We can't waste it by napping. No way. Napping all night is for the weak. And we're not weak. We are chefs. While Papyrus was shouting pep talk, Sans fled away with the entire plate of almost pancakes. Well, looks like you could either A, run after Sans to take back your dinner, or B, make another dinner with Papyrus, or C, eat the pancakes that decided to come back from the ceiling and found Papyrus' skull. Wowee! He takes a taste of it. Great indeed. Of course, it was always option D. It collapsed on the floor because you couldn't possibly handle the amount of stress that was cooking with a skeleton a second time in a row. You look at him and he looked so happy to cook with you again. This was going to be a long night. Oh my God, he looks adorable. And a long night was indeed. It was fun to be around Papyrus and you loved him very much, but you questioned his and your sanity many times that day. Like when he was going to blend an egg after smashing it into a bowl to smooth out the shell pieces. Or when, to melt butter, he put the entire package into the microwave. Luckily, it was just paper, but it was really difficult to open the package after all the butter inside became a mush. Oh my god, this sweet little skeleton. Or again, when he tried to whip the cream with his belt. He said that's how his friend did it, and that was enough for you to not ask any more questions. Oh my god. You weren't really a master at cooking, but something told you you could teach Papyrus a couple of things, so you agreed, for both his and everyone's sake, to come back and help him from time to time. You passed out, face nearly inside the flour bowl, while trying to measure the milk. Needless to say, the milk fell down as well. Oh my god. You woke up the morning after on the couch, padded between pillows and fluffy blankets. Papyrus made you crepes for breakfast to apologize for keeping you up so late. You were just glad he learned something. You couldn't stay mad at him anyway. Ending. Next time, just make some instant noodles. That was so cute. So we ended up cooking all night with Papyrus. It's nice that Papyrus actually got his own ending in this as well. That was so cute. And Sans finally got to eat something and actually enjoyed it. And we didn't poison him this time. So yay! All's well that ends well. I don't know if there's any more endings besides the one I found. If I find any more, I'll definitely cover it in a video. So yeah guys, thanks for watching another movie night episode. Well, it's getting late. Probably there'll be more videos up tomorrow instead. So I'll see you guys in the next video. So bye. Good night and have fun.